Hello Pisces, welcome. Let's get through. This is a general reading for March 28th. Lasts about a week. It's not all going to resonate clearly because, I'd love to read individually for every Piscean on the planet, but that's not possible. So it is a general read, so take what works for you and what doesn't. But let's jump into it and see where we get to on this. Page of Pentacles. I love this card. She's actually jumping into a portal. She's created a portal and she's just jumping through. She doesn't know where she's going to get to. It's a bit like the Fool. It's that lovely, unexpected, joyful, oh, let's just go for it. What a great start to the week. Okay, this is not resting on your laurels, but certainly this is the Seven of Pentacles. It's not about resting on your laurels. It's looking at the harvest that you've completed. Have a bit of a breather and go, yeah, did some nice work there. Being aware that you need to now move on to the next stage. It's a bit like a farmer. He's pulled in all the crops. He's gone, brilliant, got a barn full of stuff. Need to plant for next season, and back out again you go. In the past, we've got the Queen of Cups. So she is, she follows a heart. She wears a heart on the sleeve. Very well liked. So that's a really powerful energy to have. You got the Nightmare card there. I'll talk about that in a minute when we see how it fits in with everything else. Another Queen. You've got the Queen of Wands. And then we go down to, what's the head of the matter? The Five of Pentacles. So with the Queen of Wands, so she's sort of optimistic and draws people in. It's actually recent past. But this sort of female energy on the Queen of Wands as well. This is someone who's fully aware, they're bright, they're confident, they're optimistic, which kind of follows on. So I would say that was a more youthful one. But these really two powerful energies here. This one here, the Five of Pentacles, is talking about kind of a sorrow or a loss. But really, tempered with this, it's only temporary. The bag's rubbish and the coins are rubbish, so clearly there's nothing going on in that card that's worthwhile. But in the Rider-Waite deck, it's two beggars walking past a church, and what it reminds us is they could go around the corner and go into the church, and then everything would be fine. And then you come down here to the Nine, which is your near future. So these are sort of future-y cards. So you think it's going to be really, really bad, but it's only temporary. Also, I'll show you this card in a bit more detail. A lovely rabbit, which means purity and innocence, is obviously clearly dead. There's a load of other swords behind it. There's 8 other swords, not terribly clear there, but there's is it 8? No, yeah, 8 other swords. So there's 8 other swords there. So even if the rabbit survived this one, it wasn't going to survive the other 8. But that's not blood coming out of it. That's flower petals. Because guess what? It's a dream. It's not actually happening. It's called the Nightmare card, but a nightmare is just a nightmare. It's not a real thing. So this is temporary and this isn't real. So let's go with this lovely female energy in this page, and it is exciting, jumping in at the deep end and seeing where we get to. Where we get to, again, because this energy is at your forefront, you're looking at the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups is, again, in the Rider-Waite, there are 3 cups that are spilled and 2 stood up. And it's about someone looking at the 3 spilled and they can't see the good in the situation. And the good in the situation is there's a bridge and a castle in the background, which is where you need to be. So where you need to go is already there. And in this particular card, that loud crash of that big cup at the bottom has drawn your attention. But there's another cup filled with water there. So we still have hope. And of hope, we have at least 20%. So it's a hopeful card. And it's about seeing the real clarity of the situation. How other people see you, they see you with the Chariot, which is a card of victory. Move that out of the way. Card of victory and success. He's actually just he's just been victorious, so he's just resting for a moment on these giant horns. Whether that's a huge monster he's slain, I don't know. Scepter of power in one hand, chains in the other, so he's broken free. It's a very empowering card. Again, in the Rider-Waite, we've got 2 sphinxes, black and white, yin and yang, as above, so below. And it's all about control. The situation is in your control. That nightmare is in your control. You can choose to ignore it which you should. Okay, this is the third Queen that you've received out of this. The only Queen you don't have yet is the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Cups, you know, she's even more mature than the others. She provides a safe place, you know. And if you look at this, she's got a snake and a bird coming together. They're normally, you know, the predator and prey, which depends on the size of the bird and the snake and all the rest of it. And she's got all the cups, the pentacles are on show again. So it's about knowing your own power and providing this lovely safe environment for people to mature and grow. I'm not talking about providing seats and a coffee machine. I'm talking about if you're trustworthy and dependable and courageous, and giving and, you know, attractive and spontaneous and mature and confident, all those lovely words, those attributes are fantastic to pull people towards you on whatever journey you're on at the moment. Let's see where you end up. End up as the Knight of Cups. The energy on the bottom of the deck is the Cloak and Dagger card, the Seven of Swords. Let's do this one first. We'll address this one. To me, that is, are you driving this Cloak and Dagger process, or are you hearing about it and doing something about it? I like to believe that people who are going for tarot readings are the ones that see this card for what it is and do something about it, because ultimately there's an enormous dagger above the rat, so the rat's going to get its comeuppance at some point. So what I would say to people about this card is, if there's rumour mongering going on or dirty deeds, don't be part of it. You know, use your strength, use these fantastic feminine qualities of, you know, courage and tenacity and confidence and jumping into the unknown with excitement, you know, and just pushing away all these negative thoughts. They get you in a really great place with the Knight of Pentacles. In the True Black deck, all the pages and knights are female, which is great to see. She's got massive armour on. It's really kind of overly made. I mean, she's hardly going to be able to move with that, but nothing's getting through it. And also, is that a book of rules and regulations, or is that a book on how to make armour? She's got a hammer in one hand, she's got a foot on a huge pentacle, so she's proud of the work she's done. She's displaying it on her antlers, and antlers stand for stamina and tenacity. So she's got, you know, she's there. You know, it's if it was a job, it's like you do it really well. The one thing about this card, the kind of negative on it, is that armor is a little bit too heavy for the role. You know, it's not going to make you particularly agile and able to respond to a particular decision or a particular event. So I think what this reading is telling me is you want to use all the positive traits that you have to really nullify this very temporary, fleeting. In your head, you think it's going to be a bad week for some reason, yeah, and you're worrying about it quite a bit, and you can't see the wood for the trees. You can't see the one good thing in all the bad things. But by using these feminine traits, and you don't have to be male or female or whatever you identify with, it's irrelevant. You know, it's just saying all those positive qualities of generosity and confidence are the ones that you need to bring to the front for this victory, yeah. And then you provide a safe place for yourself and for others, and that results in this outcome, you know, which is this very dependable, very solid, slightly sluggish, you know. You just you know, put the hammer down a little bit more. There's no action cards on this, with the exception maybe the page there that's got some movement and she's jumping into something new. So I would say you're in for a really interesting week where you have got the ability to brighten others' days and empower other people, and I think you should. So have a great week, and I'll see you for the next one. Pisces, it's been a pleasure.